Mm.
Welcome back to another week of word of mouth, mental health, relationship, career goals, counseling, therapy, advice, etc. So this week we're going into, I guess, the situation of what should a man pay for, what should happen in a relationship, and how the dichotomy should work. Now, what I've seen in, I guess, recent years is the dichotomy has changed a lot based on what's happening in the world. Women aren't just sitting at home all day cooking and cleaning with the kids. There's still people who do that, but they're not doing this. There's this new thing called house dads, whatever. But it's just a different dichotomy that's going on. But these are for married couples. Now, the issue I'm seeing here is there are people who want marriage things in a relationship. And granted, I say about after 24, 25, things should be working towards that. That's just me, my personal opinion. Maybe other people may feel different. Other people may think 30, 35, etc. But everybody has their preferences. But to me, it should at least you should be looking for a stable partner that you could, come home to and work together and grow together. After I say about the age 24, 25. That's just me. So I'm going to read this first post I've seen here. Women should be financially taken care of in a relationship. Your woman shouldn't have to worry about paying a damn thing. If you cannot afford to take care of a woman completely, don't date or pursue a woman until you can. The woman is the prize. Pay for it. Now, this dichotomy is a very entitled dichotomy. And I say that because what she wants isn't even financially probable in the situation we're in. Because let's just talk about this. Now, you're in a relationship. Let's say y'all don't live together. Now you're paying. She wants you basically to pay rent at her place, rent at your place, for her hair, her nails, her car, a car note, the maintenance on the car, whatever else she got going on. She probably has a degree, so you're paying on her student loans. She wants you to pay all this, and the most she probably does is cook, clean, and have sex with you. And let's just be completely honest. The sex is probably mid-tier. Head is probably trash. Her cooking is probably not, it's not going to be your grandmother's. It's not going to even be close. It'll get you through the day. But this is something she wants. And there's nothing to show for it. And I say this because it's just that's not enough in 2020 just to be pretty. Like, it gets you far, but at the same time, it's like you gotta have other assets. Like, can you know what I'm saying? And the gender roles are kind of becoming a little more fluid in a lot of ways. Like, a man should know how to change a tire, check his oils, and do all that. But a lot of women are single mothers and all that. So you should know that you should have the wherewithal to know how to do that too, or know when you're being haggled at a maintenance shop or being haggled this place or that place. A man should know if he has a daughter how to braid hair or do basic things with a girl's hair, or at least know how the hair functions or how her fair hair functions. You can't depend on your partner to do all this. But at the same time, I respect her honesty because a lot of women want these things and aren't upfront that they want it. They try to finesse it over time. And that's an issue within itself because it's manipulative. You want what she's asking for, and there's nothing wrong with what she's asking for. I'm sure there's a guy out there who'll do it. But I lost my train of thought. But what is this guy getting an offer? The ideology that just a woman is the prize is craziness, because at the end of the day, and I had to say this to a young lady, the type of man you want is not going to care about your degree, what you're really working towards and all that stuff. Yes, these are good qualities. It shows that, okay, you can take care of yourself, you're a responsible adult, but at the end of the day, you're going to want a man who provides. And this is not really just providing, this is more so taking care of somebody who's essentially just lazy or a trophy wife. And it's unacceptable. And this is just for example for a woman. I know a lot of women who've had men who pay for everything, and that is not a good diaspora to be in. It can be a very controlling, abusive, manipulative diaspora. Now you've depended on this man for so much and for so long, and he's probably 9 times 10 just being a guy. He's probably just there for your looks. Your looks will fade or begin to fade because 9 times 10 you're not working out or eating right, or you're doing what you want to do. Wearing a ton of makeup that's not healthy for your skin, and all it takes is a young woman who kind of wants to work, and you out of there. Easy. Even if she's just working to pay for her own nails and hair, you out of there. And so, if you okay with this dichotomy, understand what comes with it. Because a guy who's okay with you doing that is probably not a good guy for you, or he won't ever marry you. So if he leaves you, he don't have to give you anything. The most you could probably get out on this child support if you have a child, but you're not entitled to alimony because you were never married. And a judge is not going to give it to you. Well, the second post, my cousin is homeless now. My cousin never made his wife work or her name, and her name is not on anything. They broke up, and he kicked her out. She has no money, that's why we'll never depend on your nigga. They ain't shit. He says and then a young lady, he never made her work or she chose not to work. And this is the problem you'll come into. We don't know the whole situation, if he made her work or she chose not to work, but as a military member, I've been in a situation to know that men have tried to make their women work or do something, and they don't want to do it. Now, the diaspora with the military is a little worse because it's like once you move her in and do all this other stuff, she's pretty much entitled to half after a certain period of time, or entitled to something. There's not much you can do. And the military is very strict on if you have children with them, you have this and you that. And this is what a lot of you women will fall into if you think it's okay just to sit around and do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you don't have children. You should be working towards something. Or at least a man should come home to a clean house and a home-cooked meal, He shouldn't come home to a bunch of bags because you went shopping every other day for things you probably have 1,000 pair of or 1,000 duplicates of. All you're doing is wearing out your welcome with him, and it shows a lack of appreciation that you can't do nothing around the house. I've been in a situation like this before too, where it just seemed like the young lady didn't want to do anything. I sent her to go live with her daddy. Haven't talked to her since. Didn't want to be bothered with her. And the third post, this man really took me on a 3-day getaway just to ask me to be his girlfriend. Young lady, this is how dating should be for women: fun, high effort, thoughtfulness, being spoiled, this energy, or keep it on the playground. Now, as a man, if you can afford to do this, cool, no big deal. That's what you want to do. It's no problem. It doesn't mean anything. But to have this level of standard for every man that takes you out on a date is kind of ridiculous unless you can do it yourself. And it's also kind of ridiculous if you can't do it yourself, because now you want these things that you can't afford on your own. Like, nobody should have to pay for a lifestyle you can't afford on your own. That shouldn't even be a requirement for you to have somebody pay for a lifestyle you cannot afford on your own. There's nothing wrong right now. There's nothing wrong with a dinner and a movie, or I don't know, going to Dave and Buster's or a go-kart place or bowling or a speakeasy. Those are dates as well. Those can be intimate moments, etc., etc. There's nothing wrong with that either, but at the same time, because you can find 3-day getaways cheap on Groupon. They $200, $300. But to think this is acceptable just to ask somebody to be their girl, like if he want to do it too, but if that's your standard, it's kind of out there, outlandish, because all you're setting yourself up is for failure. And 9 times out of 10, a guy doing this, who's just doing this on a 3-day getaway, you're kind of caking or whatever, he probably just going to smash you for a while and then go about his day, because you probably didn't prove more than just a trophy wife. So I say all this to be, just like I've said before, reciprocate what you require. Ask for standards you can provide for yourself, and just be wary of men who are okay with you just not working or doing stuff like this, because there's always a caveat that comes with this type of stuff. It doesn't matter who you are. There's always, nothing is free in life, nothing. So understand that, or you'll put yourself in a position to severely get hurt, ladies. So that's all I gotta say about this. Like and subscribe to our channel. Email down below if you got any questions, comments, concerns. This is Word of Mouth. Peace.
Mm. Mm.